Yay! Hello everybody, welcome to Meatless, I'll put this up a bit. Welcome to Meatless Monday. I don't even remember how many we've done. As always, we'll wait a couple minutes, let everyone get on board, and then once we have people cooking, you're gonna spa? Why don't you tell?
Sure.
Oh, I thought you were going to Ashton's. I thought you were going to... Anyway, so, just working logistics out of the house because... Cool, sorry. Just working out logistics. People don't like sitting in the lounge while I'm live because then they feel like they can't talk, so they just go and disperse. I can't see who pops on to Facebook Live, so if you can comment and just say hello so I can see who's cooking, and then I know who we're waiting for, and we'll get... Oh! I just exited out of Instagram Live, didn't I? Okay. We'll see. Say hello! It's only 6:01, so we'll wait a couple more minutes and let everyone pop on. While you're waiting, I'm gonna wash my hands. Hello. Oh, yay! Mel, you're on. Megan, you're on. Hello, hello. Mel, are you cooking tonight or are you just watching? Because if you're cooking, that's so exciting. Megan, hello. Thanks for popping on again. Thanks for popping on again so you can cook along. It's nice now that you've got the time to be able to do it. And then Jatika, hello. Are you cooking tonight, Jatika, or just watching? Just trying to sort out the there we go. Is that alright? I apologise, Facebook. You're gonna have the... Okay. Cooking pal, yeah! Awesome! So, for the people that are cooking a long time or watching or whatever you do, that's awesome because you guys are going to get the special announcement first at the end, and then everybody else will find out later on. So you guys will be the people who hear it first, which is super exciting. I've been planning it for a couple of weeks now and it kept getting pushed back, but now we're here, so it is exciting. What's the time? 6:03. Right, we'll wait till 6:04 and we'll make sure that everybody can get on. I thought there was a few more people cooking, but maybe they haven't made it, or not sure. No one's messaged me yet saying they can't find it, so let's just see if Jotika, Rennie's cooking, but she hasn't popped on yet. I think Mal, I think you're gonna love this one. I think you're gonna get very, very... You're gonna be about it. Yes, cooking. Okay, right. I think everyone's on. Oh, it's not 6:04 yet. I get impatient. I'm ready to start cooking. So everybody should be ready to start cooking, right? No one has technology difficulties. Okay. Perfect. 6:04. Let's cook. So the first thing to do, wash your mitts, make sure that they're nice and clean coming into the kitchen, and then while you're over there, fill up your large pot with water. So we're doing 1 litre, but if you're cooking for less, say Mal, if you're only cooking for 2 or you're cooking for 2 and the boys, then you can definitely just do a little bit less. So let's fill that up. And remember, you're going to be putting... Oh, yeah. Oh, cool. Oh, Marie's on. Okay, awesome. So, and remember, in your pot, make sure that it's not all the way up, because you're going to be putting lots of veggies and stuff in there as well, and you don't want it to overflow. So, and always make sure that you're using cold water from the tap, because if you're using hot water from the tap, that could be coming from your hot water cylinder, or you're not sure where, and it might have other things in it that you don't like and your body doesn't need. So put a lid on that, turn it on really high, and let's get that boiling. I know it takes longer to boil, but that's alright. The next thing we're going to do is roughly chop up the garlic, mushrooms and greens. So we're going to do the garlic first, because it is what's going to give the broth lots of soup. Broth lots of flavour. So it says 2 garlic cloves, but in all honesty, that's for people who don't really like garlic. So I'm going to be doing like 5. If you're feeling wild with me, come along for the ride. If you just want to, if you don't want to do all 5, then do less. It's entirely up to you. Marie, are you cooking tonight, or are you just watching along? Just jumped on, sorry. Hi, Aspen. That's all good. All we've done, Aspen, is we've just filled up our pot of water. That's literally it. And just make sure that your pot of water isn't all the way to the top, that you just do it to like 3/4, because you're going to be putting stuff into the pot and you don't want the pot to overflow. If you're doing like really big leafy greens like silver bee, then definitely just do like half a pot of liquid. If you're doing like leafy greens like bok choy that doesn't take up as much room, then you can do a little bit more liquid. And then once you've got your pot on, Aspen, just start crushing your garlic. The recipe calls for 2 cloves, but you can put in however much your heart desires. For instance, in our house tonight, we're doing 6. We're going to have garlic breath. But our house has had a little bit of a flu going through it lately, so this is going to make everybody feel better. And then all we're doing with the garlic is we're just really finely dicing it. We're not crushing it or anything. If you have the time and patience, then you can totally crush it. But this dinner is all about sharing food with family and friends, not taking much time, and just enjoying it. So when we lived in Japan, you know those stoves that you use when you're camping, and then you put the gas in them and they have the ring, and you normally cook your like sausages and stuff on them? In Japan, you would put those on the dining room table with a massive pot, ceramic pot, almost like what we'd... Sorry, I missed out what I should do. Okay, Aspen, have you put water in your pot? Put water in your pot, step 1. And then step 2 is cut up your garlic. So you can use 2 cloves of garlic, or you can use 5 cloves of garlic, however many cloves you like. It's going to add flavour to your broth. So I'm using 5. And if you need any more directions, if you have any questions, then shout out. But that's as far as we got. You did not miss much. But yeah, while we were in Japan, you would literally put like a ceramic pot with broth. So they would have like special broth that you bought at the supermarket in these ceramic pots, and you would sit round a table and you would have your chopsticks and you would have all your veggies cut up on a serving dish, and you would just slowly add things and then pull them out and put it into soup and then eat that and then get the next bit. And it was such an enjoyable experience because you're just chatting away the whole time. Like, you can understand why in New Zealand a lot of people, a lot of like Asian cultures, they sit at the dinner table for like 3 to 4 hours. It's because they're really building that relationship, and it's the time where they get to debrief and chat. So it definitely is, like, making this meal brings me so many fond memories. The next thing you're going to do, so crush up your garlic however big you want. Like, for example, mine, I'll show you. We've got some like big bits in there. Can you see? And then we've got some really little bits. So big bits and little bits. Whatever you feel, it's okay. It doesn't matter. The next thing you do is you're going to get your 6 shiitake mushrooms, and you're just going to slice them. The good thing about shiitake mushrooms in a broth is that they maintain their shape. They absorb water, so they absorb flavour, but they don't go like rubbery. They stay quite dense, which I like about them. And that these are awesome for if you're wanting to marinate mushrooms. These absorb so much flavor, so definitely worth the investment if you're looking at making some sort of marinated flavor. How is everyone doing? Is everyone up to scratch? At the moment we're just cutting up our slicing up our 6 mushrooms. And I've got 1 extra, so I'm just going to use it. Look at me not following the recipe. Typical Olivia. I like create these recipes and then I get in trouble because I don't follow them. It's okay though. For the greens, for the recipe tonight, I'm going to use a little bit of bok choy. So I've got my bok choy here. And I'm also going to use a little bit of silver beet. So, if you were going to make this recipe again and you wanted to like fancy it up, like you actually had time to put into the recipe, then I 110% recommend marinating the mushrooms, your bok choy, and your tamari and your garlic for like maybe 45 minutes before you want to cook. Put them into an oven on a grilling tray, and then they get like crispy as well. So you would have seen in the photo for this recipe, you would have seen like crispy mushrooms and crispy greens. That's because when I made it that way, I put it... Carter's eating all my silver beet. Yeah, go Carter. Because that's when I put it on, when I cooked it that way, that's how I did it. So that is also another thing to do if you wanted to get a little bit fancy. Like if you wanted to have your friends around and you wanted them like to enjoy the meal and you didn't want it just to be like a basic soup broth, then that is a way to like flavor pack a punch. So cool. Then we have this, and then I'm also going to do some silver beet. Now for your silver beet, you can eat the stalks. However, for this, I don't really like the stalks, so I'm just going to cut down the line. And like if this was a traditional Japanese meal, I feel like my Japanese friends would be totally yelling at me because you can't put silver beet. I don't even think we could buy silver beet over there, but you can't put silver beet in a hot broth. But that's okay. We're westernizing it. The more greens you get, the better it is. Cool. And as you can see, the longest part of this dish is literally having the water boil. Another way you could do it if you didn't want to fry things off, if you don't want to like put things in the oven first, you still wanted it to be a one pot meal, is you can just put a little bit of olive oil or sesame oil in the bottom of the pot, fry the things off, and then add the water. But if you're going to do it that way, then you definitely want to make sure that the water is boiling first, so that you can, yeah, you don't spend heaps of time waiting for the water to boil like we are here. Hi, what's up? Oh, you're going to go too? Yeah. Okay. Jake's going to go see a new puppy. Cool. How's everybody doing? I'm trying to cook a little bit slower because most of the feedback that I get is like, whoa, you cook so fast. So I'm just trying to kind of like cruise with it and make sure that everyone's actually at speed rather than stressing out, because this is meant to be an enjoyable experience, not a stressful one. So because my board's getting really full and I want to put in the greens last, I'm just going to put them into a bowl, bit of transfer. Okay, now the water needs to boil. Hello. Oh, hi, Mama. Mama's some more pasta. How are you? What's your actual name, may I ask? Is that public notice? I would love to call you by your actual name. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to peel carrots. So I'm just going to really quickly peel the carrots. Caroline. Hi, Caroline. How are you? I love, sorry, you can't see me. I love your Instagram feed and your pasta. I think it's absolutely beautiful. And also, thank you for coming in and joining in. Now, your carrots, if everyone's up to the stage. Corn, don't know where you came from. I'm just going to cut my carrots off. My ends off, my carrots. Carrot. Yeah. So under one bunch of greens, silver beet, kale and bok choy is 2 carrots. You don't have to add carrots if you don't want to. It's entirely up to you. It's your dinner. So if you don't want carrots, it's all good. And then there's a couple ways to cut the carrots. If you want them to be like really, really soft and mushy, then you want to cut them really small. If you want them to still have a little bit of a crunch, then you want to keep them bigger. And it kind of just depends on what your mood is, what you feel like. If you don't want to add your carrots, don't add your carrots. It's absolutely fine. So tonight for ours, another way that you can do it if you wanted to is you can julienne the carrots. And that is delicious. But a lot of people don't have that instrument to be able to julienne the carrots, and they find it really frustrating julienne it with a knife. So we're just gonna, for tonight, just give it a really small dice. Well, Megan, how are you doing? Mel, how are you doing? Rennie, are you enjoying it? Are you cooking along? I forgot you were in Palmerston North. I was going to ask you how your Wi-Fi was going to go. I was a bit concerned of you cooking at home with your Wi-Fi. Okay, water. The water needs to boil now. What? You're making me go for a while. Come on. We're going to boil the jug. How's everyone else's water going? Is everyone else's water boiling, or is it not? Is your water boiling? Because mine's definitely not. And that's what we're waiting for. Kind of tells me you keep calling it green stuff, so you must forget what you were cooking. It's just because we have so many different types of green stuff, so we just categorize it into one. Mine's ready. Oh, Aspen, awesome. You must have put in a tiny thing of water. Mine's pretty much ready. I'm just going to go with it. So, what we're going to do now is we're going to add our garlic. Sorry, we're going to add our tamari first. So that is here, or your soy sauce. So you've got a 1/4 cup of tamari or your soy sauce, whatever you want first. Tamari I prefer because it has way less salt in it, and tamari is usually made with organic non-GMO soybeans, so that's a win. So here we have a 1/4 tamari, and that's going to be the base of your broth. The next base of your broth is your garlic. Add that in. Once again, if you wanted to fry it first, you totally could. I'm just going to have to keep putting the lid back on. Cool, so you got your garlic and your tamari in there. And then we're going to add our carrots, because obviously they take the longest. Is there a specific amount of water that's meant to be in there? Yeah, so it's pretty much, I said a litre, but I'm serving 4 people. So that's 250 mils of water per person, essentially. So if you're Aspen, you're only cooking for yourself and your partner, then you only have to do 500 mils. Or, I mean, if you like broth, do more. If you don't like broth, use less. So if you're only doing 500 mils, just instead of putting a quarter cup, just put 1/8 of a cup. So essentially like a good couple of dashes of tamari. And then your garlic, once again, it's your decision. You can do whatever you please. Cool, Gemma. Hi, Gramming with Davo. Hello, welcome to Meatless Mondays Cook Along. I'm doing actually alright tonight. I'm making sure that the videos and stuff are being, like the comments, that was one of my goals, is to slow down and to make sure I'm checking the comments in the videos so I can actually help people throughout the process rather than just getting in my own little mind and cooking away. Is he meant to be a specific? Yeah, okay, no, I'm good. Alright. Now, we're going to add the mushrooms. Yum, it smells so good already. And the greens. And you'll see in the recipe, if you have the recipe in front of you, you'll see that there's a 3A. And so, I'm doing good, thanks, Liv. Okay, awesome. And you'll see when there's a 3A, that's like an alternate way of doing things, just in case like you wanted different flavors or textures with your meal. So give it a stir and make sure that all the vegetables are like underneath the water. I'm going to put the lid back on because I'm not quite boiling yet. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to get our tofu and get that ready. So I've got quite a bit of water in mine, so I'm going to take it over to the sink and get all the water out. Now, you only need 300 grams, and this is a 400 gram block, so I'm just going to cut a little bit off and put that to the side. And then the rest of it, we're just going to cut into slices, and then we're going to cut it into cubes, as you can see here. Cool, we have our cubes, and that can just wait to the side. And while that waits, I'm just going to set a timer for 4 minutes for those veggies, and then we're going to get our noodles ready. So we're using the Hoikin noodles, and you can use rice noodles if you're gluten-free. You could use ramen noodles, you could use whatever noodles you feel like. So the instructions for these, if you're using them in a stir fry, is to open them up, place them into boiling water, and then let them separate, and then add them to your stir fry. If you're putting them in a hot pot, then you can easily just go open them up and put them into a hot pot. So one of these packets is meant to serve 1 people, but I find that a lot of noodles, so I'm just using 2 packets for 4 people. The next thing we'll do is we'll get ready the garnishing, so the spring onions. So I'm just going to slice these diagonally. Slice a few. And if I'm going to clean off a spring onion, the easiest way to do it is just to find the outside thing, the outside skin, and then just peel it off and then slice off the end. And you can regrow your spring onions if you like. You can just cut from the top. Spring onions do grow like wildfire. Like if you think that you don't have a green thumb, grow some spring onions, because I swear they will grow and grow and grow and grow. Obviously not right now in Monaco, it's freezing. But if one of your goals for this summer is to like grow a plant or grow something, then I highly recommend the spring onion. I literally put like 4 in my garden and I ended up with so many that I couldn't even finish them, and I had to give them all away. And they do have really deep roots, so, and like thick, dense roots. So if you're using a garden, just make sure that you have some space for them. Okay. I'm boiling now. Oh, it hasn't been 5 minutes. Sorry, I'm being so impatient. And remember, we're also going to be putting in our miso paste, but we're going to be doing that at the end, just because at the end it means that as much of the bacteria that's alive in it and the fermented miso is going to actually get into our bodies rather than it all being destroyed by the boiling water. So, right, let's get cracking. Let's put in our tofu. So just drop that into there. Your broth should be looking quite like goldeny brown. And so as you can see, if you were going to marinate your mushrooms and your onions with this, then your mushrooms and mushrooms and tofu, then your mushrooms and your tofu would be quite the same. If you're having noodles with me, put these in. And they will just break up themselves, but what I recommend is just getting your fork and just shaking it through like this. Place the lid on top. And that's dinner pretty much ready. So as you can see, like, it's very chill. Very chill. And it's really easy to be able to put on the table for lots of people. It's pretty cheap. You can kind of put in what ingredients you like. And it's a great way to pump in lots of nutrients into people that might struggle to get them. And also, like, when people find leafy greens like really harsh, this is a great way to get leafy greens into people, because the exterior of the plant is already kind of like softened and broken down. Cool. And then the next thing we're going to do is your miso paste. So I'm using half a cup because I know that everyone in this house love miso paste and they love the miso broth. If your family is still getting used to miso, then just put in a quarter. But once again, taste it to your tasting. And if there's people that like it, then they can add more to their like single bowl portion. So it's entirely up to you. Remember to get your little sieve so that you don't end up with lumps of miso. So I've got my little sieve here. And then you can also do this in portions. And remember, whenever you're buying miso or anything fermented, make sure that you're buying it from a fridge. If you're buying it from a shelf that's not temperature controlled, it means that there's been preservatives put into the food to stop the bacteria and the enzymes working, which generally means that it's not actually, doesn't have those like added health benefits that it claims to do so. Cool, that's about half a cup. Might even do some more. And just put that into the water and slowly, just like, say if you're putting flour into your like baking, you would sift it through. If your water is like really at a rolling boil, turn that down or even turn it off because you're about to eat dinner and you don't want it to burn your mouth. So this part's probably the most finicky part, but you don't want lumps of miso in your soup. You want it to be dispersed through. Good to know about the miso. Mine was straight off the shelf. Yeah, did you buy Kerry's Organic? Mel, maybe? I think that's the one that you buy off the shelf in the at New World now. Also, Mel, sorry everybody, this is a personal conversation, but I went and looked for those vegan pies again in Queenstown yesterday, and they weren't there either. So then maybe they haven't made it to the South Island yet. If you are a plant-based eater or you are interested, there's these new, I would have to find out, I'll have to show you guys later, but there's this new bakery that are doing vegan mince and cheese pies. I'm sure they're probably not that great for you, but more just to try them and experience it. They should be stocking in Pack and Save and New World and Countdown. So if you're a plant-based eater or you're trying to move to a plant-based lifestyle and you're missing your pies, then it's coming. And if you're in Wanaka, actually I can announce this now. If you're in Wanaka, the newest stockist for the mighty sausageless rolls is Ruby Cinema. So if you are going to the movies and you want vegan food, because as you know in Wanaka there's not that many options, Ruby Cinema has the mighty sausageless roll and it is so good. So it sells for $9 there as well, the same price as on the website, and I highly recommend it. It comes with a delicious red tomato chutney. It's got a little bit of a spice to it, but it is so good. And there'll be more stockists to come. We just need to announce them. I just need to get into the kitchen more than one day to be able to actually make them. Cool, so here we have, so this is where you try your broth and make sure that it's to your liking. It should be salty enough. You shouldn't have to add salt because you've got the salt from the soy, from the tamari, the salty flavour, and you've also got salty from miso. So, yum. Yeah. And the great thing about this as well is that you could leave it for hours. Hard to say what brand it is. I'll post a picture after. Oh, okay. Oh, maybe it's just a Japanese brand, maybe. So yeah, and that's pretty much dinner. So you can leave that for as long as you like. You can leave it like sitting in the hot pot, or you can eat it now. Or like I said, how we eat it in Japan is we put it into we just put it on the table just as a pot like this, and everybody just ladles out of it and keeps eating. So what we're going to do to serve it, if you wanted to make it look nice for people, is you get a soup ladle. So I'm just making sure there's no comments. It's my goal. I'm trying to get better at the comments. And you ladle in 2 or 3 spoonfuls. I'm going to go for 3.5. And then, I know utensils, but you could use tongs or you could use this. And then you want to get your noodles. Put your noodles in, because that's your base. That's what everything's going to stick on. And then, this bowl's getting really hot. Once you have that, that's when you want to get all your good stuff on top. So, another utensil. Man, Jake's going to love it tonight when he has to do the dishes. is here, and then you get all your toppings. Couple greens, then get your couple mushrooms. And then go digging for your tofu. Find your tofu. And so, if you wanted to add more colour to this, I highly recommend marinating the tofu first. I just wanted this to be a really quick and easy meal. So, as you can see, you would have spent more time actually sitting on the couch making this meal than you would have at the kitchen counter. Next thing you do is get your sprouts in the middle. Some spring onions on top. Oh, can you guys see? And then your chili flakes. I broke my chili flake jar, so sprinkle that around for a bit of spice. And voila. So you can already see that this bowl is kind of dipping because of the, oh, it's hot. Because I didn't put enough noodles in for the base. But that's dinner. So simple and so easy. You can add to it. You can literally, like, this is a dinner that you kind of go on Friday night when you don't even have, you just have random things in your fridge. It's right there. It's pretty much basic ingredients that you have in your fridge. If you have any recommendations for a Meatless Monday, then I would love to hear them, because my biggest struggle is just the timing. I want to make sure that the meals are on the table within half an hour, and I like to be in the kitchen, so a lot of my meals actually take longer than half an hour, but only because I enjoy it. So I'm trying to get meals that you guys can cook within half an hour that are easy, not expensive, and just basic ingredients from your fridge. So it is really, really exciting, and it's really fun, and I love coming on for Meatless Monday for you guys. Like, just to see what you guys create is awesome. So for next week, we're doing a Mexican burrito, or if you're gluten-free, you can always get gluten-free like wraps, or just a Mexican bowl. So the recipe will be going on live at 7 p.m. tonight. So you'll see it be posted to Facebook and obviously the website. And if you're subscribed to the mailing list, you'll also get the email as well. Meatless nachos. Yeah, Adam, we could totally do meatless nachos if that's what you like. I didn't even know you were watching. And then the next thing is the announcement. So thank you so much for watching along this far. You're probably like looking at your dinner going, I want to eat, shut up. But we at Balance Me are going to be doing takeaways this coming Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So it's not live on the website yet. I'll make it live tonight. But there's going to be options to order your falafel beetroot carrot salad, your soba noodle salad, tofu fish and chips, a burger, and then there's 2 different types of burgers. That's going to be live on the website. Every meal is going to be $14, and you're going to be able to pick it up from the kitchen. So you can also, if you've been wanting to order and you're like, I don't want to order 5 meals, what if I don't like it? This is your chance to be able to test out 1 or 2 of the meals at a discounted rate, because it's $14 a meal, which is actually cheaper than what they are for the meal delivery boxes. And then it can help you make your decision if you want to, say, put in an order for the week. It does mean that you're going to be like, you won't be able to try it before the cutoff for this week, unless you ordered on Thursday night at like, say, 6 o'clock, and the cutoff is at 8 p.m. So that, it's super exciting. I've been kind of like tipping between, do I do it, do I not do it? And I just want to do it. So I'm putting that out there for you guys. I'm putting it out to the Wanaka community to be able to try things and just see if they like it. So, and obviously the mighty sausageless roll will be on the menu too. So we're also going to be putting on some desserts. So the desserts will be quite decadent. It's going to be my chocolate tart, which is either rosemary and sea salt or dark chocolate orange. So they will be $10 a piece, but they are like, let me find the tray. They are quite big, so you're going to like 1 between 2. So it's $5 a dessert essentially. The other thing is going to be a solid apple crumble, because who doesn't love an apple crumble? And a lot of people struggle to make the crumble vegan and still get a crunch, so that will be there. And then there was something else, but I can't remember it. So thank you so much for watching along. Thank you so much for supporting Balance Me. Thank you so much for supporting yourself and learning new things, because that is awesome. Learning new things is really exciting. Opening up your mind to different opportunities out there is like the best thing to do. So yeah, takeaways, Balance Me, coming for just 1 week only. If it goes well, we'll extend, but right now we're just going to do a week just so people can trial it. But yeah, okay, I'm sorry, I'm just turning away. Enjoy your dinner. Isn't it stunning? Yum! If you wanted to get real flash, you could put on some microgreens on top too. Remember, this is your last week to send in your photo, post your photo to Facebook, tag Balance Me, send it to me to go into the drawer to win a meal this coming Sunday for delivery. If you live out of town, then I'm going to figure it out. We'll send you something. Thank you so much for joining in. Thank you so much for supporting yourself, building your inner toolbox. That's goodbye for now.